Look at that. Here we are. It's
Look at
Duffy,
us.
Chris Daughtry.
The lighting is fantastic.
It's amazing. We're in a conference room on the side of the production office,
Yeah.
Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem with the Chris Daughtry. Thank you so much.
Good to see you,
time.
Duffy.
Yeah, you too. So many things I want to talk to you about. We have 15 minutes to do it, so I'm going to try to cram in as many things as I can. But first, let's talk about Shock to the System Part 2, EP. And I'm just curious, since this is the second part of the EP, why 2 EPs instead of a full album? Was that intentional? Was there a reason behind it?
It all started as one album. That was the idea. And had the title. After the song Shock to the System was written, I was like, that's the perfect title for this. And it was just taking forever. The record was taking a long time to get off the ground. We were juggling tour dates. We were writing. We had just finished Artificial, and that felt like urgent. We were like, we got to get this out now. We can't wait on it.
Big song, really big song.
And it worked out great. And then, of course, we had to shoot video. Then we were promoting it. Then we were touring. And I was like, there's still a lot of this record to be done. We had maybe 5 or 6 tunes tracked at the time. And I was like, there's no way we're going to meet this deadline at the rate we're going. That was the meeting at the label. Here's what we've got. That's it. Not sure when we're going to be able to get the rest done. And they were like, well, what if we split the record up into 2 EPs? I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And it just sounded like a great idea. It took the pressure off of me feeling like I needed to just cram in 6 or 7 more songs. And I I'd never done that before. And I was like, okay, well, we can get these 6 done. And wrap it up, mix it, master it, get it out the door, and that'll kind of buy us some time to get around to part 2. And then going into part 2, I was like, well, I felt so good about part 1. This felt like a daunting task now. Like, where do we go?
How do you top it, right?
How do we top it? And I'm like, do we need to top it? Like, what if this is the full record? And the first half is the singles, the second half is the B-sides. Doesn't have to be so good, right? That was kind of what I told myself to kind of alleviate the pressure of feeling the need to like, oh, we gotta one up ourselves. We gotta write another hit, a single or whatever. And we didn't do that. We just started writing. And when we got to Day I Die, that was like, okay, I see where this is going. This kind of set the tone for the second half, much like Artificial set the tone for the first. And it was just it just kind of organically happened in a way that I could have never predicted. And it probably wouldn't have happened this way had we plowed through to get the record done originally as planned. So is this the way to go in the future? Not saying that, but it definitely worked for this.
Now, the new single is The Bottom, which, by the way, we are playing at 97.9.
Thank you.
I'm going to be honest with you. This might be one of my favorite Daughtry songs because it's got such a groove to it. There's a real, in my vision, like a sleazy type groove. And I mean that in a great way.
No, we were definitely kind of, leaning into the 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah,
like,
little Alice in Chains.
Yeah, little Alice. Oh, you caught the references then.
Yes, I did. I love it. This is my favorite.
Yeah. I love it. It's my favorite one to play because I get to play guitar on it and it's got a sick riff on it. I love this song and it took 3 different versions of this song to get to where we are now. The original song was actually written for our last record, Dearly Beloved.
Okay.
Never went anywhere. The chorus it was not this lyrically at all. It was called something completely different. But it had something in the pre-chorus that we really liked. So we borrowed that and then started another song and it had the groove. But the chorus just never went anywhere. And we're like, there's something here though. So we stripped the vocals off in the studio and we're just listening. And then all of a sudden this chorus came to life. And we completely rewrote the song. But yeah, that groove was really the impetus of where it started.
So a song like The Bottom, how do you work that into your set live? Because obviously your fans have certain songs of yours that they have to hear. You know that.
Yeah.
But people want to hear the hits. But then when you have a new song,
there's a lot of them we're not playing.
But when you have a new song like that, how do you decide? Well, I have to get this in because it's the single. B, where do I put it in the set because of the energy of the song, the groove of the song, where it fits? How do you decide that?
This has been trial and error because we started the set list one way on the first show, and they were like, that felt weird. That was a weird flow. Because we've been playing almost practically the same set list for over a year now.
Okay.
Playing with Disturbed, playing with Creed, playing with Breaking Benjamin. And so we had a show dialed in. And now we're like, we got all these new songs, and I want to cram all of them in.
Yeah.
You know? And so we started the first... Hey!
Oh! See, look at... There we go.
The phone got tired.
The phone got tired.
We got bored. It's like, now we're getting really interesting. So we're getting closer up.
I love it.
So we were like, that didn't feel right. That felt weird. So we took one song out. We took Razor out, which was on part 2. And it's one of my favorite songs, but it just didn't flow with the set. And we're like, let's move this around. Let's move this around. And last night was the 4th show, and it finally felt right. So to answer your question, sometimes it makes perfect sense. Like, oh, this is clearly where this goes. And other times we got to just see how it feels with the crowd.
Right,
you know?
how they interact.
And and a lot of times we like to play the newer songs earlier in the set so that we can still, get our rocks off, but hopefully they'll wait long enough to hear the songs they came for.
With all the things we could talk about musically, there is something that I've been really dying to have a conversation with you about, and that's fitness, because you have really transformed yourself. And I love that. As someone who is a big runner myself, used to work as a personal trainer, I see a lot of this now in rock, is that people are starting to pay attention to their health, pay attention to their fitness. Another guy that on that train, like Brent Smith of Shine, now constantly posting gym videos. You do the same thing, and I love it. I'm curious to know, what was your impetus to make that change? Because it's not like you were always a pretty in shape guy, but like now you're superhero built.
I always had a fascination with fitness from the time I was like 14 or 15. And it's probably because of my love for comic books and just...
You're a huge Deadpool fan, and Batman.
Batman, Deadpool, like I just love comic books. I love that world. And I was really, obsessed with action films. So there was always this like fascination with like what you're able to do with your body, and so at an early age I started training and lifting and trying to look like these comic book characters and Van Damme and all these other action heroes.
Yeah.
And I kind of got out of it once I became an adult and life kind of gets in the way or takes precedent, and then I just kind of got sick of how I was looking, how I was feeling, how I was eating, how I was drinking all the time, and just had I accumulated over like a decade just bad habit after bad habit after bad habit. And I got to the point where I was just tired of it, and I was like, well, I'm not going to ever look the way I want to look if I continue to do A, B, C, or D. So what do I need to do? What was I doing then? And I just started taking it seriously. And I was like, I get to choose who I want to be every day. So I have to make those choices. And I just said no to a lot of things and said, I'm doing this. I'm going to make it a lifestyle. It's not just I got to get ready for a photo shoot or a video or whatever. So I live this way 24/7.
And it's got to be hard, Chris, with your lifestyle, because you're never in the same place that long, really. You're constantly traveling. So thinking about the nutrition part, obviously that's probably the hardest part, right?
The main part is the nutrition. Obviously, training is a big part of it as well. And I do that on my days off, I find a gym or whatever. But it's making good choices with what I'm presented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I work with a company called MegaFit meals, and they send out meals. So on the bus, I've got what I need, but on like days off or whatever, I'm like, I just try to make the best choice. I look for like a sweet green or something that has like lean protein and, all the good stuff. And I save my one day a week for like burgers or pizza and I get right back on it.
So two things that I'm curious about. Number one, do you have a favorite lift to do? And on the opposite side, back to the music, do you have a favorite guitar that you always go to when you're in writing mode? Like, what's the one that you automatically pick up? Like, I'm going to work on a song today. What's the one guitar that you pick up? So those two things.
I have a Gibson 135 EC. I love it. It's the guitar that I've played since the first record.
Is it like a Blueburst color?
No, it's I those are my electric hollow bodies.
Okay.
But this is just a big ass acoustic that just sounds like a cannon. I love the way it sounds and feels, and I've written a lot of songs on that guitar. And I try to keep that handy when I'm at home. I don't have it out on the road with me. But as far as favorite lifts, I love cable stations. So
yeah. I think you just posted a photo with doing a cable.
I feel like I get there's a less chance for injury. You know, approaching 46, and I'm trying to maintain more than I don't care how much I max. I don't pay attention to those.
Well,
numbers
you're not worried about the mirror muscles per se or any of that. Kind of stuff.
So I try to, you know, cables. I feel I can get really good isolation and contraction with that, and I feel like I have a better mind muscle connection with it.
Last question, because I know you're super busy today, but your new blackout tattoos, I'm just curious, how did your wife react when you first got it done? Because truly, now with those, you do look like a superhero when you're shirtless. But like when you came home and said, "Hey, honey, look what I did today."
Well, she knew it was coming.
Okay.
It's not
like it was a surprise.
We had a sit-down conversation, like, babe, we need to talk. And she's like, "Oh shit, what'd you do?"
Right.
And and I was like, and I told her what I wanted to do, and she goes, "Okay, that's it." I was like, "Yeah, that doesn't bother you?" Like, because I had a tattoo of her, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, it wasn't like I'm not covering you up, babe. You are here. This is just a bumper sticker. And so she was totally fine with it, and we spent the time in Malibu where I got it done, and I was like, "You want to come in?" And she watched like 5 minutes of it. It's like, "Cool, this is boring. I'm out."
I feel like that is something that is universal for most wives. I think mine would say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That
she was like, "Are you happy with it? Cool. Then that's all that matters."
Yeah, it's very much, not only is it very rock star, but it's very superhero. And I feel like it fits your personality so well. Chris, I really appreciate your time.
Always good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for being with me today.